Well, hello there, and that's better. And thank you for tuning in. My name's Jeffrey Paul Wright. This is my channel, and today I'm going to talk about why heavy metal music is from the devil. Well, this idea has been around long before the Satanic scare of the 1980s, but our teachers might have been telling us not to listen to bands like AC/DC and Ozzy Osbourne because they're satanic or whatever. Well, I took a class back in the late 90s. This 14th century modal counterpoint music theory class, and learned a lot about the intervals and their place. Because what it was a 14th century modal counterpoint. It was music that you would expect to hear if you walked in and to worship in a Catholic church. That's what you'd hear. It's Gregorian chant. It was all male vocals and a cappella, and it was all composed music. It's supposed to be humble, not draw attention to itself. It's not supposed to be, fancy. It's supposed to be just humble music to worship to, right? So basically they whittled out certain intervals from their intervallic vocabulary to basically maintain this sense of peace and tranquility and whatnot, as opposed to chaotic, death and mess and whatnot. And basically, what they did is they whittled it down to thirds and sixes. But of course, they couldn't just have thirds and sixes. So I mean, the other intervals were used sparingly, and some of them absolutely none at all. So basically, they really wanted to avoid the perfect tones, the perfect fourth and the perfect fifth, because they found them real primitive, and it just wasn't the just a little more rock than they were ready for at the time, like. And ended with a five, but the tritone was the sixth tone. There's 6 half steps. Maybe that's where they tie in the devil tone there with 666 or the mark of the beast, just a guess, and a stab in the dark. But it was the interval they definitely didn't want used, and the composer would definitely, be told to hit the road if he incorporated that into his melodies. It's pretty. So now, if you take these intervals that they're really undesired in the compositions of the Catholic Church back then, you got the perfect fourth, the perfect fifth, and a tritone. Pretty heavy metal, and that's all the intervals that they didn't want used or emphasized in the Catholic Church. They'd want those notes prepared for, resolved to a third or sixth, ideally, and they'd end it with an octave, and that was it. That's the only time they ever used the octave, and so yeah. maybe the idea that heavy music is metal music is of the devil comes from that the devil tone, the tritone, evil tone they didn't want in the church is a tone they use extensively in heavy metal music, which is pretty awesome music. You end up with like some Slayer sound and stuff, right? All right. Well, there you go. Proof that heavy music is metal music is from the devil. No, look. Truth of the matter is, I spoke with the Dark Lord, and he prefers much, the lighter sounds of Kenny G and well, Justin Timberlake and the other Justin Bieber. That's his. That's what he really likes. If you want to know the truth, but there you go. Heavy metal music is of the devil.